What's up, Spartans? It's Dr. L here, your chief mind doc at Spartan, where I'm here every Wednesday working to build up that mental toughness and mental resiliency so that you can overcome the obstacles in your life and be the best human that I know you want to be. Today, we're talking about letting go of negative thoughts. So what are negative thoughts? I mean, come on. They're just thoughts that are negative, and we all have them, right? So they can be thoughts that center around our insecurities. They can be thoughts about our future and worries about our future. They can be thoughts about other people. We can have negative thoughts about lots of different things. Usually, however, our negative thoughts are mostly self-directed, right? So negative thoughts that we have about ourselves. Things like, I'm not good enough. I'm not athletic. I am stupid. I am too emotional. I am too needy. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the kinds of different negative thoughts that we have. But if you're a human being, more than likely you've had a negative thought in your life at some point in time. The thing about negative thoughts, though, is that they can become barriers to us moving forward and achieving the things that we want when we listen to them. Negative thoughts are a little bit like seeds, right? We plant them in our brain, but if we attend to them, right, and if we water them through that attention, they will grow and they will spread. So we actually want to work on some different skills where we take the negative thoughts and we shift them or transform them, or we move away from them altogether. And here's how we're going to do that, okay? So the first thing to help you work through a negative thought, something you can do is called counter thought, okay? So what you would do is you'd write down the negative thought that you're having, and then you would counter that thought, okay? So let's say the negative thought was, I'm not very athletic, okay? You could write that down and then counter it with, I just ran my first Spartan sprint. There you go. You've got evidence to counter the negative thought, okay? The second thing that you can do is begin to think of negative thoughts as really just that, just thoughts. It doesn't make them fact, and it doesn't make them directive just because you have them, okay? We have thoughts all the time about lots of different things, and we don't always act on them, nor do we always believe them to be true, okay? So when you have a negative thought, one of the things that I want you to do is say to yourself, this is just a thought I'm having. It doesn't have to be fact, and I do not have to act on it, right? So again, if that thought was, I'm not very athletic, I'm just having that thought that I'm not very athletic. It doesn't mean I'm not athletic, and it doesn't mean that I necessarily have to train harder at the gym. It's just a thought. That's all it is. Okay? So just seeing them literally as thoughts, okay? And then the third thing that I want you to think about doing is removing judgment about having that thought in the first place. So often individuals in my office will tell me that they're mad at themselves for thinking that way. Okay, well, that's just not very useful, right? It's not useful to place judgment on thoughts that you don't have control of. You have control of how you respond to the thought, but the thought can become so automatic that actually its arrival is out of your control. But when you place judgment on it, it makes it worse, right? It's like your sandbag getting wet down with rain, okay, which we all know sucks. So you want to remove the judgment, okay? If you find yourself judging a negative thought that you have, try not to do that. It's, no, it's not great that maybe you're not being very kind to yourself, but then getting mad at yourself for not being kind to yourself isn't helpful either. Have some compassion for yourself, work on those other two things, countering, and then just thinking about it as a thought, and try to let it go. Okay? So those three things are going to be helpful for you, all right? And that's how you move away from those negative thoughts. Now, I want you to come back each week because we are here as Spartan Up Podcast, your resilience team in training. We've got Spartan Health, we've got Spartan Ways, Spartan Stand, the Spartan Up Podcast on Tuesday with Joe DeSena in the team. We want you back here every week, building up that mind, building up that body to be the better human that we want you to be. I'll see you next time.